Remember to record.
Like
I sure like that moringa picture behind your head there, Amy.
that?
Yeah. I need to figure out, hey, Kathy, I need to figure out how to get one of them Zeta ball caps. I like that particular style.
I love this hat.
All right, I got 8 o'clock straight up. Let me pause this. All right. Now, I don't have a particular agenda for this morning. You probably got the word, and I did not record the Thursday night session. And I was going to do a recap of the Thursday night session like I did once before when I failed to record. And unfortunately, that's not going to happen in this lifetime. Okay, so be it. Everybody that was there was supposed to be there. Everybody that wasn't. That's what we're going to go with, okay? Oh, there you go, Cindy. That's what I like saying. Probably the only real thing that was on my agenda for this morning, and we're going to be succinct. We're going to wrap this up at 15 minutes before the top of the hour, so that I can get a little break, make sure everything's going okay in the rest of the of my life, and then start the Super Saturday. Okay, Danielle, good to see you. Hey, Donna, how are you? And let's see, I see Heather. Boy, we got a lot of stuff going on there back there. Hi, Heather. Probably the one thing that I really had on my agenda for this morning, and we're just going to open it up to everybody else, whatever we can do. Now's the time to pull out all the stops. Okay, all the things that we've talked to up to this point in time. We're 3 weeks in to our 12-week program, and we've been going through the process, and for many of you with the one-on-ones, we've been catching a lot of the missing ingredients, if you will, of what we should be doing. And the focus here is a process. Okay, you can't teach something you don't know. You can't give something that you don't have. And whether you're brand new, getting ready for an event, no video. Okay, fair enough. I will. Yep, that may be TMI, but I appreciate that, Danielle. You keep getting ready for your event. The concept here is, if you go through a process, then you're going to be able to teach it to others. Every single thing that I share with you is something that I've done before in the past, and people pick up on that. Okay. And so you want to be going through the process, and it starts with understanding why you're here. And this is something I was sharing this with one of you yesterday. All this old school stuff that people kind of roll their eyes at. This is the real stuff. I mean, as a man thinketh. I mean, this goes right back to the Proverbs. I mean, we're going back 2,000 plus years now. To concepts that have built, the multi-level industry. If you listen to, all of the true leaders, the Jim Rohns of the world, the Larry Thompsons of the world, the people that have created the foundation of our profession, you listen to the things they say, and you can relate them back to one of the most ancient of all personal development books, Proverbs. I mean, it's kind of interesting how these concepts, and there's only a couple of dozen of them, that continue to permeate anything that's real in our world today. And so, for instance, one of the things that people used to laugh at, back from the old Amway days, is affirmations, saying them to yourself in the mirror. I'm strong, I am courageous, I've overcome everything. Everybody wants to talk to me. Everybody wants to join my business. Everybody wants to buy my product. These are the kinds of things when people roll their eyes like, oh yeah, it's all that, personal development, motivational brouhaha. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And there's a reason for it. And the people that have been the most successful are the ones that have operated under fundamental success principles. And so, what was the first thing we started with? Write down your why, okay? And then have it in front of yourself. Look at it every day. One of the things that we talked about was the concept of celebrate or fix, and I indicated, or I stated, you need to celebrate, do something meaningful, something that to you is a celebration, and it must include activity, action. This is all neuro-linguistic programming stuff. Yes, exactly, Brian. Dude, I've been seeing some of your posts. I want to party with you, man. Okay? I mean, I don't care where, I don't care when. I want to party with you sometime. This is neuro-linguistic programming stuff. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a 0.01 in terms of knowledge, capacity to teach, that kind of stuff. I don't, but I understand the principles. Okay, and if it works, I'm going to do it. Okay, the affirmations, hand to the heart, standing in front of the mirror, speaking them out loud. You can't just think them. Okay, this is what goes out of the mouth comes back into the ears, and it changes our programming. Okay, we are the sum of all of our experiences in life, and the reality is most of us, the 95%ers, were raised in an environment, the school system, told where to go, what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and then sent back home. No individualized thinking. The entrepreneurs of the world, they're the ones that, the term is think out of the box. It's not so much think out of the box as much as just thinking, being, creating. And we have this infinite capacity to do all these kinds of things, but nobody teaches us the most important things, which is all up here. And see, the interesting thing about the subconscious, okay, is it's kind of weak. Okay, it doesn't take much to reverse it. You can spend a lifetime being subjected to negativity, whether it be you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you shouldn't do that, shouldn't do this, good girls do this, good boys do this. Okay, you can overcome 30, 40, 50, 60 years of incorrect programming, or let's not say even incorrect, programming that is limiting. You can overcome that in a relatively short period of time with a little bit of focus. And so the concepts that we deal with, we've shared those. It started with create why, and make that something that is big enough for what you want, and then constantly be reminding yourself of why. I got to tell you, much of the time that I'll give you the gym, for example. Yesterday, I did not want to go to the gym. I absolutely guarantee you I didn't want to go to the gym. I caught a little 30-minute nap. When I woke up from that little 30-minute nap, I was 1,000 miles away. I couldn't really tell whether it was, I was getting up in the morning, getting up in the evening. But what did I do? I stumbled through the next 20 minutes to brush my teeth, put on the gym clothes, grab my get my supplement stuff going, the routine, right, and get on the road. Okay, I just did it. I didn't want to do it. I just did it. Now, after the fact, guess what happened? I was glad I did it. I'm not telling you I wasn't tired. All right, same thing. Trust me, I do not get up in the morning sometimes excited about going about the process of what I'm doing, but I understand that through the initial stages of challenge, adversity, what have you, the outcome is what I'm looking for. Okay, nobody goes to the gym getting excited about working hard. They go to the gym because they get excited about the end result, which is I'm going to feel better. I'm going to feel, and I don't want to just say look better. Okay, feel better about myself because of how I look. All right, so we started with why, then we went to the list. There's a reason for that. If you do not go through the process, you cannot share the process with integrity. This is key. You know, people want to follow leadership. False leadership is never something that lasts for a long time. Okay. And, you know, people can have the perception of success, but, you know, at what cost? And so now we're at a point in time where it's time to take the knowledge, put it into action. We've got approximately 10 days for the major announcement a week from Tuesday. And everything that you've been hearing is be prepared to catch the wave. Get in the water. All these surfing analogies, I love it because I'm hearing it from people that live in Kentucky who never saw the ocean until their first Diamond Club event. I mean, seriously, you know, have you ever seen the ocean? Well, on TV. It's kind of like me. Have you ever seen the snow? On TV. So now's the time to be putting it into action. And all I can share with you is that when you have an opportunity to be in the right place at the right time, you have one of two options: engage or wish you had. That's all there is. Engage or wish you had. When I first started in the industry, I joined a great company, the finest training that's ever existed in this industry. There are people today that are million-dollar income earners, creating million-dollar income earners who are sharing the same information that I learned from that company. But it was the wrong timing. But what it did is it created an environment where I was ready to capitalize on a wave of a second company. And, you know, so many people, you know, said, well, man, you were lucky. Was I? Or did I operate in correct principles, go through the process to learn the foundations, to be prepared for when the opportunity presented itself? And honestly, for some of you, this is a little bit premature in your development, but that's okay. Because when you get in front of the wave, you don't have to be that good. See, that's the exciting part. You just have to be good enough. And what do you need to do? You need to have a list. You need to engage, call somebody. Doesn't make any difference what you say, so long as it's, you got to look at this, because if you miss it, you're going to wish I told you to look at it. The 7-minute video that I cut from Cancun, okay, I think, my personal opinion, is that is an excellent exposure tool. Because what are we doing right now? We're not trying to expose people to our product or opportunity, what have you. We're trying to expose people to the opportunity to be part of something significant that can change their life. And if you think about it, if all one did was create $1,000 a month in income, who do you know last year had a $12,000 raise from their employer? And would that have changed their life? Of course it would. It's a new car. It's a vacation of a lifetime. It's a, getting into a mortgage, the money you need for a down payment, whatever. Those kinds of things change people's lives. So, got to have the foundational elements. Understand why you're here, because if you think it's easy, you're wrong. Just going to tell you straight up front. If you want to have an above average income, an above average lifestyle, number one, you're going to have to put in above average effort. You're going to have to become above average. It's going to be above average challenges, above average adversity, but it creates above average results. And the exciting thing is, unlike people who joined Zija in 2008, when I did, which was not the right timing, and unlike people who joined Zija in 2000, let's say 13, 14, 15, 16, wrong timing, being here today is the right timing. And timing makes up for an awful lot of lack of skill sets, understanding, what have you, so long as you take action. And so this is my challenge to you. How many people are you going to reach out to in the next 9.5 days to tell them something big is about to happen, and whether or not you're interested in it, you're going to wish you had at least heard about it? Take 7 minutes. Let me introduce you to a fellow I know. This fella has been there, done it, and he's doing it for the 3rd time. And I want to talk to you. Take 7 minutes and let me talk to you. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Everybody's mic is muted, so you're all getting really good about that. By the way, one last thing, folks. Whether you're brand new, people like Heather, whether you've been around for a while, seasoned professionals now like Amy McKenzie, you're part of this group because you either are or wish to be above average. All right? Do not be surprised that you did not get a reminder text. Okay? Whose responsibility is it to make sure that you show up at the millionaire table? There you go. Okay? That one was by design, by the way. If you are not accountable to yourself, how can you be accountable to lead an organization of thousands? Interesting, huh? All right, so tell me, we've got about 30 minutes. What's happening with you guys? Where can I help? And it's not just me. There's a number of people that are part of this team that have some tenure, some experience. Certainly, Amy, I got to tell you, kudos to Amy. Amy has got this down, this concept of edifying the upline. She had me on the phone or on the Zoom meeting with a young fella yesterday, and we were running out of time, and he had questions. So I answered that question, and then Amy, recognizing I had to run, says, and maybe we can set up another time because Kevin, Brandon, Billy Bob, he had another question, and she set it up. He's got this really great prospect, and maybe we can get another meeting going so that you can talk to him about what's the best approach to be able to get this guy, because this guy's the guy we want. And what was she doing? She was edifying her upline as being the guy that knows how to do this. And I'm thinking, wow, this is great. Amy's got this deal down, right? I'm only as good as people say I am. And of course, knowing what my schedule is like, I smile. I says, Brandon, you know what? Whatever Amy says, she's the best. Okay, whatever she says is the right way to approach this guy, that's the way to do it. Let me know what I have to do to be part of that. Okay, she did the correct edification. But right now, we're in an environment where people like Amy, and I'm not saying all of you, but I am saying Amy, okay, she knows what to do, okay, and ultimately, if you understand this principle, this will help you. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. There is nothing you can say. And I'll give you an example. When I was called about Zija, all right, you guys heard the story. The only reason I took the call is because I liked the guy, okay? He did it right. Instead of going, man, we got the greatest thing, Fred, you got to sign up, man. You got to get in this thing right now. You're going to kill it. You're going to get rich. What do I care about that? Honestly, riches mean absolutely nothing to me, other than I do need a certain level of income. I got to put gas in my my V10. I won't fly coach, but beyond that, there's really not a lot I need, right? Nice clothes, that sort of thing, means nothing to me. I would not have this watch if Ken Brailsford didn't pay for it, because I see no value in dropping 10 grand on a watch, because this is a watch to me, right? My phone. The guy started out, man, I want, first he started out doing the right thing. How's your mom? How's the midget? How's life? Great, great. Listen, I want to tell you, I found this great company. They got this great product. And he starts telling me about the product. And it was like, wah, 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 Ken Brailsford. I was the right person. He was saying all the wrong things. And all he did was say one name, and that's what got me to look. Can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Can't say the right thing to the wrong person. Now, it may not be the wrong person, it's the wrong timing for them, okay? That doesn't mean they're the wrong person forever. They could be the right person next year. That's why you keep the list. But if you ground yourself in these fundamentals and these principles, then you will never, ever be wrong. You got to believe in yourself. You know the facts, okay? The facts about the company, facts about the product, facts about our opportunity, facts about you. When the time comes that you have that philosophy, that mindset, that commitment that you will be alive at the top of the mountain or dead along the side, you will not accept mediocrity. You just got to buy my story on this one. The universe, karma, the creator, whatever it is your concept of what it is that is greater than us, will eventually say, we might as well quit persecuting them because they ain't going to quit. They're going to drop dead along the side of the mountain. We might as well let them get to the top. And it's very interesting. The greater the adversity, if you stay with it, the greater the success. Okay? And I am here to prove that. Nobody, some of you know the real story. Nobody, 99.999% of the people would not have gone through what I had to go through in the first few years of multi-level to get to where I'm at today. And I guarantee you during that period of time, I wasn't sure it was worth it. I guarantee you today, it is worth it. And it's that whole concept of unintended consequences. Originally, it was for my son. But because I did it then, it allowed me the opportunity to take care of my grandson. And then fast forward another, 6, 7, 8 years, because of what I did way back then, it allows me to take care of my mom today. Okay? Not what the original reason was. But look at all the things that have come since then because of that one, path to the top of the mountain. All right, I'm done. I'll shut up. What's happening with you guys? And as you're thinking about whether or not I should say something, be very clear on this. There's 3 or 4 of your peers on camera right now who are wondering if they should ask the same question. So help them out.
Okay, Fred, I have a question. And you may or may not be able to answer this. So I have a nephew that's been enrolled with Zija for quite some time, hasn't done anything. He wants to get re-engaged with this new promotion that's going on. And I had notes here that David said anyone in the system can get into this. Is that correct, or is it only for the periods that enrollment 110, 113?
No. Here, let me share as much with you about what's going to happen a week from Tuesday night that I'm permitted to do, okay? We're going to be moving in I don't want to say a whole new direction. We are going to be accelerating this growth unlike anything Zija's experienced in the last 10 years. Now, we also know 80-20 rule. 80% of the Zija community will not participate. Be real clear on that, okay? 20% of the Zija community will participate. Now, because it's a limited kind of proposition, people are going to have to commit. Now, that means they're going to have to, buy their ticket to the millionaire table, right? It's not a free ride.
Right.
Now, the good news is every single person without even thinking about it, without one iota of effort or pain or what have you, will be able to purchase their ticket. It is a symbolic enrollment. All right. Now, if somebody is in the computer, raise their hand saying, I'm ready to go to the millionaire table. Where do I get my ticket? Okay.
Right.
As long as they have, and I'm not saying inactive, as long as they exist in the genealogy, that simple little act of raising their hand and asking for a ticket to the millionaire table will reactivate them and allow them to participate in this process.
Okay.
And they will have they will be in the same part of the airplane as I am.
Okay.
Equal footing. Everybody's going to be, it's not there isn't a first class for diamonds and the brand new person or the person that's been around for, 5 years and hasn't done anything, they got to sit in the back of the airplane. Everybody gets to sit in the front of the airplane. Everybody's going to start out with equal footing. It's going to be a matter of who then does what they need to do.
Good, because I'm raising the dead.
Folks, thank you, Cindy, for saying that. Every single one of you that's been around for a while, you need to go back through your list to the people that you talked to that didn't join. Go back to the list of people that you talked to that did join and it dropped out. Go back through your genealogy. Go to the 4-level, well, I don't know what's called now. It used to be the 4-level genealogy. Go through that. Take the time. Just go down through. Grab your memory jog, or not your memory jog, your notebook, and write down the names. Now, there's going to be somebody on there you're not going to bother to call. Why? Because of who they are. No matter what has changed, no matter what their circumstances are, you're not going to invite them because you know who they are. I mean, I got to tell you, I've redefined my gifting loaning thing. Real simple. If you're calling me for money and I gave you an opportunity to join Zija back then, you don't get any. I'm sorry, no more loans. Okay. I spend my money investing it where I'm looking for a reasonable return on my investment with reasonable potential for success. I give my money to people who cannot take care of themselves, because that is a principle. To whom much is given, much is required. The greater success you have, the more responsibility you have for that segment of the population that cannot take care of themselves. It isn't the government's responsibility. It isn't somebody else's responsibility. It is my responsibility, because I have been blessed with abundance.
Right.
Not sufficient for my needs, but more than sufficient for my needs. And the reason is because that's who I'm supposed to take care of. But if I enrolled you in Zija, and you didn't take advantage of the opportunity, guess what? Those people, no matter what their circumstances are, it's about them. It's not about where they are, what's going on. So there's going to be some people you're not going to invite, okay? But you need to go back, because we're in an environment. Let me share this with you. We're in an environment that is on a scale of 1 to 10, about a 1 or 2 of where we were in 2010, 2011. At that point in time, we had people that couldn't spell Zija hitting gold in 30, 60, 90 days, hitting diamond in 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Why? Because we were in momentum. We were going through exponential growth. It was the first little wave, and this is normal. Always goes up a little bit more each time. We have flattening. Sometimes we have retraction. But if you have fundamentals, the good fundamentals, the foundation, Ken Brailsford, our product line. We're not selling, juju beads. Okay. We're not selling magic watches. We're not selling, whatever. We've got Moringa. We've got Dr. Plant, essential oils, clinical grade. We've got, the sports supplement line that everybody wishes they had and nobody's got. Okay. We got the fundamentals. I guarantee you life is always up, level, maybe some retraction, adjustment, up again, up again. Let me tell you, none of us are going to need to get beyond the next wave. But imagine the young, see, I look at Heather, okay, and I think, what's going to happen with her when the company goes from $500 million a year to $1 billion, from $1 billion a year to $2 billion, when she starts getting into profit participation pool 3 or 4. See, in our industry, being a 7-figure a year income earner is a big deal. There's only a couple of people who have ever made it to 8 figures a year. Young people like Heather have that potential. For the rest of us, we're going to be dancing on the beach, okay? And I mean, I know not all of you are as old as me, but I look pretty damn good for 106. Did I answer your question, Cindy? Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Good. Good question, by the way. Next question. Unicorns? Seriously, dude? All right, that's an inside joke. Never mind.
I have a little bit of a success story to share on that. I reached out to a friend of mine that had been in Zija 5 years ago. And I simply asked her to if she was open to taking another look. And she said yes. And I sent her your 7-minute video that you did.
Okay.
And yesterday I connected her with Amy and we had an amazing call. So it works. Timing is different. Zija is different. We're different. 5 years ago, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I heard your training and it just didn't sink in. I guess I needed 5 years to make it happen. But I really appreciate Amy for taking the time to do that. And we're just talking to more people. Talked to the Lyft driver the other day when we had to get a ride when our car was in the shop for a recall. I was on a connection call with her and didn't make it exactly at 8 o'clock for this. It's just continually doing that, taking action.
It's just having a conversation.
Exactly.
And then you find out right where, the interest would be piqued.
I appreciate you saying that because it's not a validation to me. I think you guys got this down, right? I don't need to be validated. I already know who I am. I already think I'm really cool anyway. Okay. However, it becomes incredibly powerful when one of the group validates the concepts that I'm teaching, because another member of the group may be wondering, well, is it really that simple? Does it really work that well? Now, let me ask a couple of quick questions, Kate. First of all, I want to reiterate, what did Kate do? She reached out to somebody, invited them to take a look, used a presentation tool, and then put a third party on the phone. Now, be clear on this. This has nothing to do with Kate, her rank, her income, or anything. It has to do with the process. When I started in Zija, one of the reasons I went so fast in the beginning at a point in time where we had nothing is because I followed the system. I invited them. I presented the tool we had at the time. It was a 5-minute cheesy recorded telephone call. 3-way them in. And I set that up. Okay, I want you to listen to this, and I want you to meet the guy I'm working with. One step. 2 things, 1 step. Put him on the phone with David. David did his deal, and it was basically, what do you need to know to get started? And I was setting them up, knocking them down, setting them up, knocking them down. Now, you have to understand, now that you know the story a little bit more, David was introduced to network marketing, and me, so many years, at the beginning of his career, I was already the big dog back then. But I don't need to rely on what I've done. I can rely on a system. Part of it was, that's what was going to make it work. Invitation, presentation, validation. Part of it was, I had to demonstrate the system so that other people would duplicate it. If Fred Holmes, who's got all this experience and tenure and success in the industry, is doing invitation, presentation, let somebody else do the talking, then maybe I should do that too. Whereas if I was the one that did all the talking, all the presentation, basically I set up an environment where people would only get involved if they believed they were as good as I was. Okay, so it's more about the system. Now, Kate, you made the comment 5 years ago, you heard the training, but for whatever reason, you didn't hear the training. Okay, tell me what is different today about what I teach from what I taught back then. What is different?
Nothing.
That's-
I'm different. I guess, you know, I did the work that I needed to do to prepare myself to be able to really open my ears and hear it, and then commit to taking action and just doing it. And just following the system, and with great leaders like you and Amy, Carla, Debbie, all of them, they're just doing their part in the system, and it's working. And I just want to let Amy know that I got a text this morning that she's going to go with a diamond or a gold package. So that's really amazing.
See, I could have bet on that. I could have bet on that.
Of deciding to become coachable, because, you know, we've both been far more coachable than we've ever been.
You know, I got to tell you, I'm pretty darn impressed with you guys. Okay, number one, you stuck around. Number two, you've gone through the process necessary to be ready for the journey. Okay, everyone wants to just jump on the train and go. Well, you know, you're going to get to the very first stop, realize you ain't got a toothbrush. Okay, now you don't want to spend the rest of your life packing, but you need a certain amount, and it has been you getting ready for the journey. I am more excited about what's going to happen to you two over the next few years than what's going to happen to me. Okay, don't get me wrong, I need 2 M6s, right? I'm going to get another one. But no, thank you very much. I appreciate you sharing that. That was excellent, excellent. That's great material for this team. This is what I was hoping the Saturday would be about. Not me doing more training, more inspiration, whatever, but rather the group sharing what they're doing and what's creating success for them. And so I want you to think about this, folks. What would your business look like a year from now if you brought in one gold or diamond pack distributor a month, and you could teach them to do the very same thing? I want you to think about this for a minute. You get one this month, teach them to get one next month, teach them. It's like about 4,000 people, because of the compounding effect. In the beginning, it's, you know, 2 times 2 is 4, then times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, still not big numbers. But when you get to that compounding effect, it becomes 2 times 100 is 200, 2 times 1,000 is 2,000. If you look, you know, my Zija business is like almost textbook. First year income, make a living. Second year income, 6 figures. Third year income, more than double the first 2 years combined. Think about that for a minute. Third year, more than double the first 2 years combined. Then, fourth year, equal to the first 3 years combined. That's why it's so important to be realistic with people. Are you going to get rich overnight? Depends on what you consider overnight. You know, if I could show you, I mean, I literally within 48 months earned more money than the average working person will earn in 30 years. Does that get rich quick? You know, in my book it is. And why wasn't everybody doing it? Because most people weren't willing to go through the first year, and then the second year, and then the third year. Another question.
Fred?
Kathy.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I was wondering if you'd speak to listening, because to me, in order to ask really great questions, of people, you have to be a really good listener. And so I was wondering if you could just speak to that, please.
Okay, this comes back to something, actually was a concept that that I was discussing with Amy's guy, young Brandon, yesterday, because he was telling me why he was looking at Zija, and I made the comment. I go, Brandon, I'm already starting to like you a lot, because in our kind of business, I mean, and I'll be candid, you know, most of us get involved in network marketing because we're looking at an opportunity to create income for ourselves. Okay, I mean, let's be honest, that's most of us. Okay, when we look at the business opportunity, certainly was for me. However, our business model, the philosophy of success, is entirely different. Okay, while we might start with an internal focus, I need to create income so that I can provide for my son. Okay, you guys know the story. The correct philosophy that will create, you know, an incredible abundance of success is when the focus moves from internal to external. How many people can I bless? You know, multi-level proverb number 9. If you care more about your new guy's paycheck than you care about your own, the money will track you down like a bloodhound. You cannot escape it. That's the multi-level proverb I bring up when somebody's saying, well, you know, if I enroll him right now, you know, this, I'll get this, but if I wait 2 more days, I'm going to get this, and it's going to be a lot more. And so the decision I need to make right now is, do I focus on my paycheck or my new guy's paycheck? And that's when I go multi-level proverb 27. Some of you have been around long enough to know whatever number pops into my head is what the number of that multi-level proverb is. Okay, now that same philosophy is what you want to use in all of your interactions. So you see somebody look sharp, you know, they look like the kind of person you want. Do you approach them, or do you speak to them with the mind that, man, if I can get that person in, they're going to make me rich? Or do you approach them with the philosophy, that's somebody, whether they're successful or not, appearing to be successful or not, that's a person that I choose to bless with my opportunity. Okay, it's just the philosophy. Because if the philosophy is you want to offer somebody something for them, then it'll create the correct activities. It's not about looking for an opportunity to tell them what we've got, but rather listening to find out if they need what we have. Okay, David used this phraseology once, and I've used it ever since. Speak to the listening of the audience. That's the concept I talk about. You know, we need to stop talking about making millions. 80% of the people that are going to join our business will join us to make $250 a week, $1,000 a month. We need to be talking about that. Okay, because the 15%ers that are looking for the full-time income, 50 to 100,000 a year, let me tell you what they're thinking. I'm going to get a bunch of the 80%ers and I'm going to get rich. And the 5%ers that need to make the, you know, the 2, 3, 500,000 a year, they're going to develop a bunch of 15%ers. Okay, so we're working with the large number, the 80%ers. We're going to win. Now, if you genuinely, if that's your philosophy, you genuinely are looking for an opportunity to share something that somebody needs, then you'll be listening to them. Now, here's a real simple one. Okay, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Do the math. What should we be utilizing? Twice as much here, half as much here. And so it is somewhat, it's like any skill, you're going to have to grow into it to be able to hear somebody and identify what they're saying, because people don't always speak clearly. You know, they'll speak to an issue, but not about the issue. Okay, so for instance, how you doing today? Well, not bad considering. man, that is like a giant red flag saying, talk to me. That's when you say, oh, so it's been one of those days, huh? Yes, it has, and it doesn't take much. If you're asking a question, you're probably on the right track. If you're making a statement, you're probably on the wrong track. And it really is just as simple as that. Okay, you know, you get better and better and better at it. Just like, you know, if you go to the gym long enough, have good nutrition, you look like Brian Ridgely. Okay, unfortunately, I may not live that long to go to the gym that much, but you young fellas, you know, you started a lot earlier than I did. I waited until I was in my 50s before it ever even occurred to me that I had any interest whatsoever in a physique. Kathy, did that help? All right, very good. All right, folks, we're 8:45 my time. I'm going to go ahead and drop off. We'll be back on again on Thursday as our regular deal. And in 15 minutes, we'll start the Super Saturday. You know, by the way, keep this in mind. Every single Saturday of Cycle 4, I'm going to be doing this. Okay? Start planning in advance. Maybe you can do your own little in-home meeting and plug in. Get, you know, even if you don't have a meeting, get your brand new distributors all together. There is power in the synergy that's created with 3 or 4 people all sitting in your living room, you know, with the TV going or the laptop screen going, and we're all going to, you know, sit here for the fast start training, what have you. There's incredible power in this. So every single Cycle 4 Saturday. Why is it Cycle 4 Saturday? It gives us 7 more days to close business for the period. Okay? Folks, love you all. You're doing a great job. See you on Thursday.
Thanks for coaching, Fred.
Thank you, Fred.
We'll see you. Bye-bye.